Hello, everyone, and welcome to Sis Talk Saturday. I am Keela, your California board lead for Boss Sis and owner of Travel Fly Adventures. And today I have with me a special guest, also from the board. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Kimyette Jenkins. I am a Dallas rep, and mostly so far, I'm really loving the vibe and the energy. And it seems so far, like I said, to be a great sisterhood to be a part of.
Perfect. Yes, thank you. I'm so happy that you're on with me today. And what one of the things that we're going to talk about is why sisterhood and empowerment is so important. So I'm going to kind of get us started by asking you the first question, Kimyetta. What factors do you believe are key to building a strong sisterhood?
I would say the main thing is respect. That goes for respecting someone's mindset, the way they think, the way they talk, walk, act, and dress. And most important, not imposing others' views. And not imposing, I would say, your views on others. Sometimes in sisterhood, I guess when we get labels, when we get degrees, when we get so high up in our careers, it's kind of easy for us to look down on those who have not yet reached those levels of achievements that we have. And so instead of, kind of looking our nose down on them, let's reach down and pull them up. I have seen so many times where it's so easy to when we get degrees or we get certain, acclamations and things like that. It's kind of so easy for us to forget those who are underneath us or beside us who may be needing help. And it's so we're so quick to forget how soon we were in their position once. Just always just being respectful, or better yet, the golden rule: treat others how you wanted to be treated. Period. Because the same that is given today can easily be taken away tomorrow. And just making sure that we're always doing our best to be positive, think positive, and remember that once upon a time ago, that was you who was in that chair, position, or authority.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I think it's important to remember where we came from and how we got there, even the struggles that we went through, building that strong, sisterhood and having a good networking, which is what Bosses is all about. Is about
Mhm.
empowering and inspiring others and building them up. So taking them on the journey and helping them along on their journey. So
Mhm.
can you share a story about a time when you received support from another woman that helped you feel empowered? And how did it impact your life or your career?
I will always say it's my little sister. Always, 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 because my motto and one thing I have been really big on lately is think positive, it becomes positive. We lately, I guess, been trying to say that, oh, I'm trying to do this, or I'm trying to do this. My sister's like, no, you're doing it. So we're trying to eliminate the word in our household can't and trying, because whenever you're putting your best foot forward, with every day that you're waking up, you're smiling, you're shining, you're grinding, you're truly believing in God for your purpose that's going to come through this, that you're manifesting, that you're seeing, you're not trying anymore, you're doing, because nothing's ever going to be done perfect. But however, you can set the blueprint and you can create the manual of how to obtain, I guess, that level of success. So overall, what I'm saying is I had to realize, and she helped me realize, that I had to stop saying trying. I was
Mm-hmm.
already past the trying process when I started to come up with the ideas, the thoughts, and I started to shift my mindset. Instead of, I want to be a stylist, instead into the mindset of I am a stylist, or I want to
Mm-hmm.
be a wardrobe stylist, so I am a wardrobe stylist. So the main thing is, like I said, what she helped me do was change from trying to doing, help me get out of the mindset of seeing myself as someone who's still in the beginning stages. Because when you start to already think those thoughts, that you are that person, you is that person, or you want to become that person, you already out of the phase of trying, that you're in the phase of doing. She's always have positive words of encouragement to uplift me and vice versa. And we're always reminding each other who you surround yourself with is very, very, very important. What you're going
Absolutely.
after, and I strongly believe in that. Like, I'm not a person, I tell people quick, I'm not for the gossip, I'm not for the mess, I'm not fake, I'm not shady. Anytime I feel like any of that's going on, I will quickly remove myself from the situation. We're too grown to be operating like that. So me being around my sister, get a bit of bit, it always helped me to change my mindset and stop looking at, what I have done, or what I'm attempting to do, and the fact that I'm actually starting to walk into that. And I think every woman needs to hear that. Like, we got to get out of the mindset of, oh, I'm trying to do this, I'm trying to do that. When you don't already thought that thought, you started to, map things out, draw things out, sketch things out. You're now walking into the mindset of doing.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know for one, I talked to someone not that long ago and I said, oh, I'm trying to do this. And she said, what do you mean try? I'm like, I mean, I am doing it. I'm already doing it. But
Exactly.
I had someone who was important to me help me along the way. Because sometimes breaking into business, it can be a little rough seas because
Oh,
sometimes
it
not
is.
everybody wants to help you.
They don't. They
Succeed.
don't.
And so people who will be like, oh yeah, I'll be there for you, and then they don't show up for you.
Mhm.
I had a particular, she's a good friend of mine now, but she really helped me in my business quite a bit. She knows who she is. If she watches this, she knows who she is. When I really needed the help, and she didn't have to. And it's not like she was making any money off me or anything like that, but it was kind of like along, like, come on, I'll help you out, no worries. And so to me, that is a real sisterhood where you're not looking for something to gain, not looking for something back from it, but you're just there to genuinely help that person along their journey. And so she really helped me get back into my career and build myself up. And I really appreciated her for that.
And we
So
need people like that because
I
it's
really
so
do.
oftentimes people would say they will be there. They will be a cheerleader. They will be your biggest fan. But what I have realized is all to their, sometimes depending on who the people is, it's sometimes always due to their benefit. You gotta watch out for those people who so closely,
Absolutely.
oh, they're watching for you, they're rooting for you, they're cheering for you. But as soon as you're into your season, they like, oh, how dare she have the nerve to succeed? How dare she have the nerve to do so well? How dare she has the nerve to exceed, swim, and shoot right into her success? Hold up, baby. Favor ain't fair. You don't understand the years, the times, the dedication, the months, the sleepless nights. Sometimes I'm up to 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, grinding, getting into my
Yep.
business. How dare you rob me of my moment of joy, success, of what God put into me, what God bestowed into me, and what He has helped me do? No, no, baby, you, no, that's God. It ain't me, it's God. Only one person can have the nerves to frown off their face, look down, and be almost pissed if they don't get the glory, and that's God. You ain't Him. And we got to be careful of when people are okay with you doing well. But as soon as they start to see that you're doing well for them, oh, child, Hades will open up the gates on you. So it's just like I'm in a season where, like, every day I have a prayer journal. I'm praying about connections. I'm praying about, who to have on my email list, praying about what friends I should keep, family members. I'm praying about every little thing about my business. Sometimes I think I'm getting on guys' nerve. But the thing is, when you're birthing something, you gotta be very careful of who is in that room
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because you better realize what you're birthing, you're bringing it to the environment. So if their environment is tainted, guess what? What you birth is tainted. That goes for if that goes for your mindset, the way you walk, talk, think. When you're birthing something, your mind, you gotta be want to make sure you're good mentally, physically, financially, spiritually, intellectually, emotionally. Because if not, anything that
Mm-hmm.
you're birthing out is walking into the environment. If it's not in a good environment, it's just like saying, you got some good bananas, and then you like one banana, that's almost bruised, and you're gonna throw it with the good bananas. Now you don't ruin everything.
You
Why would
ruined
you do that?
everything.
And so I'm learning whenever I'm birthing something, just be very careful of who's around me, what's around me, even how I think, walk, talk. I'm so this year. It's like I'm not playing about me. It's like I almost think people making it 3 strikes. Sometimes you got 1 strike this year because it's like be careful of who's in that room when you're birthing something. And it's like a lot of people are streaming, oh, girl empowerment, bosses, or, oh, I don't belittle, downgrade women. They're going to be some of the most mean and the nastiest people. So it's like you got to really pray to God for discernment and clarity on who should be in you when you're getting ready, when you're entering your birthing season, when you're entering your winning season, when you're getting ready to be, when God say, you know what, I'm going to show all your enemies that this is for you. Be careful who's in that room. Be
So
careful
let
who's
me
on the
ask
phone
you
with
this.
you sometimes.
This is true. This is true. Let me ask you this. How do you encourage and promote sisterhood and empowerment in your own personal and professional life? I know you kind of touched on it a little bit in what you were just saying just now, but how do you encourage and promote that type of sisterhood?
One,
From my interactions with you, you've been very positive about things, and I really appreciate that. But how do you promote it? Go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to
my
cut
biggest thing is I'm gonna be 34. I don't got time for the gossiping, the foolishness, the being nasty, the rudeness, the meanness, and none of that. My parents always taught me your character is everything. So therefore, if anybody's interacting with Kim Michelle Styling, that's my name. My name is Kimyette Michelle Jenkins. So Kim Michelle Styling is my name. You only get one name. Once the name is tarnished, it's brash, it's thrown in the dirt, it's drugged through the mud, baby, it's hard to get that off your name. My
Yeah.
name is very unique. It's associated with my business. So when people see Kim Michelle Styling, they're seeing my character, who, what, why, and what I'm about. So it's associated with me. So I always try to treat people how I want to be treated and make sure that, I'm not doing things to people that I won't be done to myself. So I mean, when anybody who I'm dealing with in business, anybody can tell you, I'm always saying, my biggest pet peeve is I don't try not to get in anybody inbox, chat, comment, DM, email, none of that without saying good morning, good evening, hey, how are you doing? Is everything okay? All right. I try to make sure that I'm adjusting my tone, my font, everything that I'm using, so it makes sure that I'm coming off as in, I'm caring, I'm concerned, because you're investing in my business, you're taking your hard money to get to my business, that I'm being well with my presentation, my packaging, that I'm responding within a timely manner, that I'm emailing back quickly, I'm texting quickly, because this is my business, this is my reputation, this is my brand, and I want people. If I'm going for elegant, upscale, high scale, classy, sophisticated, polished, refined, all of those will be assigned to these, like, oh, she's prompt, she's a good responder, she's a good communicator, she's on time, she's well organized, she's well balanced. Because how am I saying, oh, I'm Kim Michelle Styling and blah 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 blah, this is something for my brand, but yet nothing that I does lines up with that. That's being false. That's being hypocrite. And you can never say I'm a liar, I'm fake, or I'm two-faced, I'm a hypocrite. So my main thing is, to any business owner out there, treat your customers the way that you want to be treated.
That was my next question. I'm so glad that you said that, because I was going to say, what advice would you give to young women who are just starting out in their, in their business or their careers, or they're looking to build their own support networks?
Don't give up. Don't give up. Don't. Because this is what I learned. Last year, my business, I didn't probably make any money in sales. Did it get to me? Absolutely. But you know what? Somebody told me this, and at first I thought they was being real rude and funny. They said, shut up and listen. I'm like, you may want to check that shut up. I'll listen, but we ain't doing no shut up. And he's like, no, shut up and listen. And that hit me so hard. I was like, oh, he wasn't just talking about the conversation that we was having. He was talking about listen to everything around you, the way you think, walk, talk, operate. So I may not make that much in sales last year, but guess what? I built a hell of a strong foundation. Period. So that was my season to shut up and listen and on how to build my foundation. Figure out which ways this year I want to network. Figure out how I want to launch my website. Figure out what things I wanted to, sell. Figure out what things I want to launch. Figure out what things I want to bring into my brand. Figure out who, what, when, how, and I was as a business owner. So it wasn't my season to, oh, let me brag about myself. God, like, you ain't bragging this year. You getting down and doing some work this year. Up to 2 a.m. in the morning, 1:30 morning. I'm busting out content after content after content. Guess what? I wasn't getting none of them likes. I wasn't getting everybody sliding my chats, my DMs, my inbox, none of that. But guess what? Did that stop me? No. I said, all right. I said, I did this good this year with no claps. I'm going to go even harder next year. I'm going to make sure they can't stand me, don't like me next year. Not in a bad way, but that was to myself to prove, you know what? If I went this hard while no one else was looking,
what
imagine
does that
mean? Look.
What does that mean that they have going around on Instagram that says, prepare to be sick of me?
And with some people already to let me know they sick of me. I'm like, oh, okay. That's fine. That's cool. But guess what? I'm not, my biggest thing is, if you get up every day and you okay with knowing that you're not doing anything to work towards your purpose or your goal, or you don't have any fear waking up every day, not knowing that you're not doing anything in your purpose and your goal, I don't need to be around you. That's my biggest purpose, waking up every day. Yes, that's my biggest purpose. My biggest fear waking up every day. My biggest fear waking up every day is not knowing I'm getting closer to my purpose, or better yet, knowing that I can die today and God like, no wait, you ain't do nothing near your purpose. You ain't get closer, you ain't touch it, you ain't skinned it, nothing. And it's like, that's what we're here to do, is to fulfill our purpose, our callings, and our walks in life. And if you're not trying to get nowhere near that, then what are we talking about?
That's true.
If we wake up every morning and that doesn't scare you, not knowing that you're not close to that, then that should bother you. You can still work your 9 to 5. You can still have your side hustle. You can still have your business, but make sure that anything that you're doing is lining up somewhat with your purpose. And once again, back to the entrepreneurs, don't give up. Do not quit. Your quiet season ain't your quitting season.
Oh, I heard
your
that.
Your quiet season is not your quitting season. That's your building season.
Say it a little louder for the people in the back.
Your quiet season is not your quitting season.
It's true. It's absolutely.
What I mean by that is, because when you're quiet, you're building the foundation. You don't really hear too much people, when you're building your foundation. But guess what? when you start to add all that phonogen, you start to mow in the lawn, the moving trucks start to come in, all of that, it's starting to make noise. And that's pretty much how your business is going to be when you're in your quiet season that's building. But when everything is starting to come together, it's starting to manifest, it's starting to profit, then it's when all the noise and everything is pretty much going to be made.
And that is it for today with Sis Talk Saturday. Thank you so much, Kimyette, for dropping these nuggets on us. I appreciate it. There's a lot of empowerment in sisterhood. And if I can just say one thing before I go, that is what Bosses is about. We're about sisterhood. We're about helping each other and to succeed and elevate and inspire. So thank you for joining me today, and stay tuned for next week when I have someone else to come and visit with us. All right.